City Junction. River City, next station stop.
You're crazy with the heat. Credit's no good for a notion salesman.
Board, all aboard.
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an anvil salesman. You carry samples?
Yes, sir. Would you like to see some?
No. You give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City next.
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the pagans and the frickin'.
Cash for the hogshead, cash and demijohn. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly pickles.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk, you can talk, you can talk, bicker, you can talk what you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory. Watch Model T Ford, the difference for the people when they go, when they get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 23, 3 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's gonna picture us a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where'd you get it?
At the Model T, it all taken together at the store, at the Modern store, at the present day store, at the present day Modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where'd you get it?
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where'd you get
You
it?
can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, bicker, you can talk what you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory. Why? So you need a biscuit in the trouble, though. You need a crackers in a package, so you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package in a Cracker Barrel. Obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mail pouch, cut plug charm out of stove, changed the approach of a traveling salesman, made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory. Gone.
Gone with the hogshead, cask and demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, cracker barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill? Hill.
No! The minute. Never heard of any salesman Hill.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's a fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package, or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat, bell ringing, big hog, great gold necking, nothing river roaring every time a bullseye salesman. That's Mr. Harold Hill.
Tell us, what's his line?
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big breast bass, and the piccolo uniforms too, with the shiny gold braid on the coat, the big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there a juice harp.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers and he plucks and he shines. When the man dances, certainly, boys. What else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys. What else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City just crossed the state line into Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Cigarette illegal in this state.
Now, if you're all through all telling you about Harold Hill,
You really know Harold Hill?
never saw him in my life. But I do know this. He's given every one of us a black eye. Why, after he's worked over in town, next salesman to arrive automatically gets tarred and feathered and rode out of town on a rail. Oh, you think it's funny, do you? Wait till it happens to you. Your skin never stops itching.
But why should you run out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments, and uniforms, and instruction books, he's got a guarantee to teach them kids how to play.
Well,
And to form them kids into a band, with himself as the leader.
What's wrong with that?
Because he don't know one note of music from another. That's what's wrong with that. And to make matters worse, he can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. I'll catch up with that swindling two-bit thimble rigger, and when I do, I'll squeal on him so loud.
Wow, you're a sure man, Charlie. I'd like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Harold Hill wouldn't try to settle them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out here.
But, gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name.
Don't believe I dropped it.
It is if you want to go around in your drawers all day.
And there I was in the Madison Hospital and nobody come to see me. Cousin Will never come. Aunt Bertha never come. Your Aunt Bertha's dead. She wouldn't have come anyway.
We could be cold as a falling thermometer in December if you ask about the weather in July. And we're so fine, not stubborn, we can stand touching noses for a regular time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirts and I'll bet to go.
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know he was coming?
Oh, I didn't know I was coming myself. Besides, how was I to know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, Now I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toffelmeyer, boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
Say, what's the new pitch? You're not back in the band business. I heard you was in, steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Someone actually invented one.
No!
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn animals, Greg. Besides, we got ourselves a stuck-up music teacher who's gonna expose you before you even get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's just what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
Well, I will. Say, how are you gonna start the pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. And then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble that it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I'll have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember. Now what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except that the billiards parlor just put in a new pool table.
They've never had a pool table before?
Well, no, only billiards.
That'll do. See you later, Mars. And remember, music teacher.
Music teacher.
You're Mr. Dunlop.
Yup.
Well, either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, so it's mighty proud to say it. I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate foresight and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try and give an ironclad leap to yourself from a three-rail billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a bog-line game, I say that it proved. You take and shove the ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth. First big step on the road to the depths of dignity. Say first, additional wine from a teaspoon, then beers from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit. And listening to some big out-of-town Jasper, hearing him tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trotting race, no, but a race where they sit down and lay down a horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy setting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil, well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table, pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Now, all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away and say, yo, young men will be frittering. Frittering away their noontime, summertime, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting dandelions pulled to the screen door, passed to the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the Knickerbocker. Sure tell you young ones, peeking in the pool hall, winter after school, you got trouble. Folks right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out Bevo, trying out Cubats, trying out tailor-made like cigarette beads, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with Sensei one fine night. They leave the pool hall, headed for the dance at the Armory, Libertine Man and Scarlet Woman, and ragtime, shameless music that'll drag your son, your daughter to the arms of the jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children gonna have trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knees? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz-bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like, swell, aha, and soldier old man. Well, so, my friend, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T and that rhymes with P that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock and the Golden Rule.
Our children gonna have trouble.
Oh, we're in trouble. trouble, trouble.
Oh yes, we got trouble here, we got big, big trouble.
T.
Capital T.
Word with P.
That rhymes with me.
And for boy.
That stands for
Excuse me, did you drop your...
No.
Didn't I meet you in...
No.
Well, we'll be in town a short while.
Good. Mama, thank you, Doctor. Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Hello, Mama. Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, ma'am. I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So, do, la, re, ti, mi. A little slower and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Now don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind me saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with the same old comment about the low mentality of river city people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't in my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman has a husband and you've got none, why should he take advice from you? Well, even if you can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about the stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase. He gave me your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow common masher? No, really, Mama. I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind me saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blend of Carl Bunyan, Sadie, Hackett, Noah West, so you can count it for yourself. And your Irish imagination, your Iowa stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, that is the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have?
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that a way to walk into this house? Hello. That won't do at all. I'll have a kiss from her. Lady over there is her sister, young man. Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where are your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it very much if you'd come. Winthrop?
Winthrop, Amaryllis has asked you to a party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
Well, thank you.
Winthrop, you know the little girl's name?
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lip. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it.
No, thank you, Amaryllis.
Amaryllis! Amaryllis! Crying. Why does he get so mad? Just because he lisps.
It's not only because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's just a part of it.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he never talks to me, but I do him. Every night, I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it, too, or it won't work. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
Well, there, darling, don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never! I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my cross-hand piece now?
May I?
May I play my cross-hand piece?
You may.
Since that is sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis. For the time being, just say goodnight to my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my cross-hand piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my
to my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, for leading the singing. J.C. Squires for his fine stereo-opticon slides. And Ethel Toffelmeyer, our fine player piano. As mayor of River City, I welcome you, River citizens, to the 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors here in Madison Gymnasium on account of the weather. 407 years ago. The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. It seems the members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Wheaton Ye girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife, Lady McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part. Mrs. Shin will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who's a disgrace to our city. 407 years ago. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, last days of Pompeii, will take place, providing the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be out in the Madison Picnic Park in the far meadow, across the creek from the pest house.
How could it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, York. That's why we're all prepared for storm. The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
Well, you wouldn't last very long in the banking business being accurate most of the time.
Just a minute, let's have order here. Order!
Number 8's late again tonight.
I make her early.
She's late, all right.
What's the matter, your watch? She's right on time.
Hey, now wait a minute. Will you members of the school board stop bickering in public?
All the matter they said was...
Never mind. 407...
I heard there's a new pool table in town.
Yeah.
Now, just a minute.
Is it a pool table or is it?
Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We won't continue with these exercises until we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children.
Yeah.
Resist sin and corruption.
Yes.
Fight the devil and keep our young boys pure.
Yes.
Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, friends, at the wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a River City Boys Band. Oh, think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. All billiard parley walls to come and tumbling down. All band will do it, my friends, so yes, I mean a boys band. Do you hear me? Say, River City's gonna have a boys band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have a boys band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples, that man's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. You'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and hear the thunder of rolling drums, the shimmer of trumpets, tantra. You'll feel something that gave me the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on that very same historic day. 76 cornets close at hand. They're followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There are more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mountain cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise the bull get higher than the snow.
His father is one of them there day laborers south of town. You wild kid, you. Tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
We wasn't either tagging.
Don't you contradict me.
We was just walking. Chilly Clyde.
You watch your phraseology. I know what you're doing. My little Gracie senior. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me till who laid the rails? Hill. I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing. Over at City Hall, 10 o'clock sharp. Then, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Oh, Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough.
He got his gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Ah, gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
No, not about you playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Did you ever do anything with, perpetual motion?
I nearly had it a couple times.
You did? Well, you're my man. Do you realize that no one has ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? No place to hang the music.
Julie, Clyde, I wonder where I got some wire from.
Why don't you look in your cellar? That's where people keep wire.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Tommy.
Yes, sir.
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, young lady, miss. What's your name?
Zanita, I didn't have any idea he was beckoning to me. You got.
Do you know Tommy Gillis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
Only except when I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. God.
Then escort the young lady home by way of the library? By way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
God.
You're a pretty bright fella, Professor. You made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh?
The mayor owns a billiard parlor, a new pool table, too.
And what was my other mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor. We need your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and paper.
Make him put up a bond.
Oh, wait. What's this I'm hearing? You, sir, say... Ice cream.
Ice cream, but I don't sing, young man, if that's what you're saying.
All right, talk then. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
You see, singing is only sustained talking. Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
And you.
Ice cream.
And you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of those men without the other three.
Well, Professor, you're wrong. Why, these men have hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be any
Sin insincere. Where is the good in goodbye and goodbye? Apprehensions puzzle and mystify, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear, while one single star shines above. How can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? Oh, we're in
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I have some wonderful caramels over at the hotel if you'd,
Mr. Hill?
Please. Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana. Gold medal class of Lot 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books which may very well give you some interesting information about you.
Hey, Greg.
Oh, hi, Marcellus. And stop calling me Greg.
How'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Get out of my hand the minute I tip my hat.
She did. Boy, you sure cut a swat tonight. For a minute, even I thought you knew something about directing a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band concert fella back in Joplin.
Yeah. Ah, kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, and you just keep your eye on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh no, Greg. You haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
But you don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary new method. It's called the think system. Why, you don't even have to bother with the notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people are going to want to hear music. You'll have to lead a band.
But when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and lead. Oh, it's a refined operation, son. And I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, gonna line yourself up a little canoodling, eh?
Well.
Say, I could fix you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl. Teaches Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. Why, that kind of gal spins webs no spider ever. And now listen, boy. A gal who trades all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer, I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. The setter but wise a girl for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby, now baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No too young bitch who keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, why she's the fisherman, I'm the fish, you see. What? I flinch, I shy. When the lass with the delicate hair walks by, I smile, I grin. When the gal with a touch of sin walks in, I hope, I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The setter but wise a girl's the girl for me. The setter but wise a girl for me.
Everyone is so excited about the band. I'm Ethel Toffelmeyer, the pianola girl.
And this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks. And of course you've met Eulalie McKechnie Shin, our mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say. Oh, no, I couldn't say at this time. I'm sure that my husband will wish to investigate, and naturally I'm reticent. Oh, yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plans includes a committee on the dance, and, Oh, wait, Mrs. Shin. Do that again. The way you raised your foot just now.
I have a bunion there that bothers me.
Oh, what grace. What natural flow of rhythm. What expression of line and movement.
Mr. Hill!
Oh, you must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' auxiliary for the classic dance, mustn't she, ladies?
Please.
Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Delsart. Will you accept? Please say yes, Mrs. Shin.
Eulalie McKechnie Shin? Dancing? Well,
Then you accept?
Yes, indeed, and I would like to...
Thank you. And now about the young lady who plays the piano. Marion Peru, I believe. Well, after all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little.
man who never had a friend in this town till she came along. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? Madison Gymnasium? Madison Picnic Park? Madison Hospital? That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who'd he think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city.
But he left all the books to her. And she was seen coming and going from his place.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, that woman made brazen overtures. With a Jew-type guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eyes, a silver voice, count-up ring. Just melted down into the real. Like lead as cold as steel. Here, her little touch.
He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her.
Arthur! Jefferson!
Oh yes, I have just what's going on at the hotel. Come with me. Good night, ladies. Good night, It's all right. I know everything and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you're probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'll only be in town a short time and, the sight of a wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I am.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
Librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look. Marion. Marbles. 6 Heelys, 8 Aggies, a dozen Peewees, and 1 big glacier with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Shh! Madam Librarian. Oh, what can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us if the library caught on fire, and the volunteer hose brigade men, and to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumble and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on the floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. out with the moonlight, a man could sing it in the moonlight. And a fella could know that his darling had heard every word of his song in the moonlight, helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian, Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts his unforgivable sin, and he talk it out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. I loved you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts his unforgivable sin, and he's talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Ladies dance committee meets Tuesday nights in the high school. Marshmallow? Madam Librarian.
Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning so far. 11 sales out of 12 tries. I tell you what, it's almost noon. Why don't you go home and get some dinner, and I'll try a couple by myself. Okay, goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
No, why no, Mayor Shin? I collect doorbells, and this particular specimen has an unusual tone quality.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Say, why haven't you been down to City Hall with your references?
Just missed you, Oh, wait, Mayor Shin, your hand. Oh, no.
What?
That spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, is it? What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good? Why, it means that America has finally produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How can I get one of those horns?
Signed here, Mr. Mayor. Fine, that'll be $17 import.
Yes, sir. Just think, I could have missed this whole... I haven't got a son. Why, you one stupidest flew by night. You one floppiest. You'll be down to City Hall with your by-gosh papers by 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
Why, I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off. Yes.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Why, if your son has that same firm chin and splendid cheek muscles, by George. Well, not that he can be really great, you understand.
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Klein.
But, Professor, we aren't Irish.
No, that clinches it. Signed here, Mrs. Peru. Your son was born to play the cornet. Fine. That'll be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due until the first installment payable at the opening of band practice. Ah, thank you. Oh, and of course I'll need his measurements for his band uniform.
His uniform?
Why, hello, son. Certainly his uniform. And there won't be a penny due until delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitements of today.
Would it have,
A stripe? Why, certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe down each side. Now, what do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day even to us. And if you can get him to play in the band, well, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. But if anyone could do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'll pick you for hat carrying, clay pipe smoking, shamrock wearing, harp playing, Neverland Barrett, Benton Darrell Mitchell singing Irishman. Oh, be gobbin' be jabbers, where you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it. Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Oh, was she now?
Why, yes, gold medal class of odd 5. How to do, Miss Peru?
How do you do, Mr. Hill?
Of course, Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I've tried to see you since the other night.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band. We're not interested, Mama.
But Maddie and the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jar, you know.
Oh, your husband musical? Well, I'd like to have a talk
Do
with
you
him.
burst into everyone's home like this, prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marian.
Well, there's one for and one against. Why don't we let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, I'm very sorry. But that's all the more reason why your brother should have something
My
like
brother
this.
is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as for your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Why, Miss Marion, I hardly... You know, I get the feeling she kind of likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, Professor, about the boy's measurements. I make all of his clothes, sleeve 21, waist 18, crotch 14.
Fine. That's all I need. Thank you. I must get back to the hotel now.
Oh, Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marion. She's not...
Oh, don't worry about a thing, Mrs. Peru. I'm sure that inside she's just as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone? He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, do you ever think of your future? Daddy, Indiana Conservation Class of Art 5. Now, darling.
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in the other, well, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're in there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb for the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners. Do I have to? You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Now, what are you up to? What do you need books for at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of a white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Griner, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does.
Or Ed Gammage in that buggy of his with the removable back seat. I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. White night, not a lamp's alight, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. White night, what my heart would say.
after supper?
I can't. It's our first league night. Meet you where?
The footbridge.
You see, isn't that just what I said? First the lumberyard and now the footbridge. Where will you meet me after that? In the black hole of Calcutta? Ye gods!
Only wanted to show you my invention.
What invention?
The music holder for the marching piccolo player. Still has a couple of minor flaws. You see, when you keep it tight enough to hold the music steady, it kind of cuts off the circulation and you can't wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you can go blind.
Tell me it's Papa!
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes, the very first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with the horses. Get that spellbinder's credentials, I said. Morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife's off dancing at any and all hours instead of in the home.
But George!
And the school board's singing up the street and down alley instead of tending to city matters. My oldest girl is boodling around with some wild kid, and my business has fallen off so far, I can't even find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
He's who?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
If you'll just take a minute to read a little bit about the university, I don't think you'll have to look any further. It's right on page 352.
Papa, the one sniper wagon's just come up from the depot.
A likely story. At this hour of the day? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon?
The band instruments.
The band instruments.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday.
In March I got a green mackinac.
And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa. Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut sock.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. A great enterprise of COD.
It could be curtains or dishes or a double.
Or it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got some salmon from Seattle last September.
I hope I get my raisins from Fresno.
The PAR set the cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I can never wait to see. It could be something, but so good. Not really see what it could be. Something special. Just for Gee, thanks, Professor.
Men, you'll each receive individual instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the street and get acquainted with your instruments and think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da. La-di-da.
Sister, sister, it is this most squancy soundless thing you ever saw. I never thought I'd seen anything so squancy this squancy out of thing. Oh, sister.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some five guys tooting out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury over at the county seat. And now, Miss Marion, about that book.
Come, George, let us use it.
You watch your phraseology. You go home if you want to. I've got to get something from the librarian. And now about that book.
Ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
if you're ready. And ladies, remember, don't make me tell you again. Always keep your face to the audience. Oliver, if you're ready.
It's you in the sunrise. It's you in my car. It's you all the way into town.
It's your sweet hello, dear, that sets me up.
And it's your got to go, dear, that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through. What words could be saner or truer or plainer than it's you? It's you.
Smile, girl, smile.
Yes, it's you.
Oh, yes, it's you.
Please, kids, Mrs. Shin will have my head. Mr. Washburn, we are entitled to 5 more minutes.
Well, if you think you can hold these kids back, go ahead.
Start it off, Mr. Washburn. We'd like to see new stuff Professor Hill taught.
All right, what will it be?
The Shapoopy!
A woman who kisses on the very first date is usually a hussy, and a woman who kisses on the second time out, anything but fussy. But a woman who waits at the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground, she's the girl you're glad you found. She's your shapoopy, 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 shapoopy.
The girl is hard to get.
Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy.
But you can't beat her yet.
Walk her once a face, walk her once a day. What's more in the flower got you never get sore. Squeeze her once for tears, looking, get squeezed back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for the bad ropes, you'll never get sore. Away to supper. Now the little sow is a no-gal, as anyone could see. Look at her now, she's a go-gal, who only goes for me. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking, get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for the bad ropes, you'll never get sore. Away to supper. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy.
Girl, that's hard to get.
Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy.
But you can't beat her yet.
steady behind your back.
Why, you...
Well, I'd rather do it in front of your back.
Do what? Ah, never mind.
Anita's scared of you, but I'm not. I should think you hate to have your own daughter scared of you. Julie Clive.
I'm gonna warn you once more. If I ever catch you touching my daughter, I'll by gosh horsewhip you till heaven won't have it again. George! Not one poop by you, madam. I think he means pig. Yes. And now, get out of this public building.
I got as much right in a public building as anybody.
Right. How do you get any right around here? Aiding and abetting the swindling activities of this spellbinding cymbal salesman? You know what I see written all over your face? Reform school! Now get out! Get out, you wild kid, you!
Papa, please! It's capulets like you that make blood in the marketplace. You gods!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Now go home. You lately?
Yes, George.
You tend to your dance.
My dance?
I'll handle Anita. Taking up with wild kids from the wrong side of town.
Mayor Shin, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover now for a whole week and didn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll study your hash as soon as I get these premises off my oldest daughter.
All right. But in the meantime, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in this town. Well, you'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in their wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their own beards. Well, I'll tell you something, my fine young feather. My feathered young fine. Oh, never mind. Oliver, Jason, you know him. I want this man's references, and I want them tonight. But don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
Do you mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. Couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water. Yes.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin's behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no. A man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? A coward dies 1,000 deaths. The brave man, only 500. Unfortunately, the mayor was still pretty mad on account of his billiard parlor. I suppose a musical recommendation from an authority like yourself would help, but I couldn't think of asking you to do a thing like that.
Why, Professor Hill?
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet? Mother of pearl keys?
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. But you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few, experimental blats, I guess you'd say.
Yes, blats.
And he sings the minuet in G almost constantly.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well, you see...
He says you told him it wasn't necessary. He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor, I
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary new method, I'll admit. So was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the egg, or globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss all these things here in public, but if you'll allow me to call, when may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Pig a little talk, little pig a little talk, little chip, 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 little pig, just come pig, you talk, you're line of a woman, chip, chip, like the just start pitching.
Oh, you're so dear tonight, dancing the shampoo boots in Professor Hill. Well, you danced like a fairy princess, with a bougie for your floor. You had a golden shimmer in your hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold, giving heart of purest gold. Here, a woman's heart should be
fairy princess, moving floor, golden shimmer, silver shimmer, yarn gold, heart of gold. Here, where a woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adore them all. Just
Just a minute, Professor. We got our orders.
We all been deputized.
Oh, yes. Congratulations. Let's see now. You know, all week long I've tried to get you fellows my credentials, but every time you seem to change the subject somehow. Now I have just what you want over at my hotel room. Take me just a second.
Sorry, afraid I'll have to go with you.
Yes. Let's see if I have my key. Wait, what's this? A testimonial from Madame Reaney, the only female bassoon player ever to appear on the Rodbat circuit. Actually, she was from Olean. Lida Rose Quackenbush.
Could I see that for...
Oh, no, you'll never forget the name. Lida Rose, same as the old song.
None of that now.
Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky.
Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be my Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose. Chapel bell chime, ding dong ding. At the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be my Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida
Will you ever just stop arguing with yourself? Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him? Ah, yes, no. Ah, fiddlesticks. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
Now, Mama.
No, nothing. If he ever comes to call again and you see him alone, well, if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you feel,
Tell him.
there's nothing wrong with a little lady like him.
Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing!
Fishing?
With Cyril. You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm. And look, I saw some words left.
Did you have a good time?
Once he told me all about his hometown here in Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he told me the song hardly has any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me well. If you like to have a lunch, glass when I start. How I have been on the soul to sleep the place for. I say I'm tired of all the fast and inside. There's just one place where I can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana. First breath, your crowd. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you like to have a lunch, glass when I slide. How I have been on this all the sleep the place for. I say I'm tired of all the fast and inside. There's just one place where I can light my feet. Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. Not Louisiana. First breath, your crowd. But Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. My home sweet home. I'll be back in a minute. I have to remember us my life rock. La-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Oh, leave the dishes, Mama. I'll do them. Don't you have to change for the sociable? Next time later.
The Shins live around here somewhere.
The Shin home is on the east alley. This is the west alley.
Oh, crime money. Ah, see, you're the piano teacher here in town. You must know about that fella Hill forming a boys band.
Yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades. Swindling two-bit thimble rigger. That's why I gotta see Shin. Just passing through, though. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. I sure wish it was 20. I'd sure like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cow. Anvil salesman. But right now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindle.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake, my old lady, of course it covered. That fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom too just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me. He sure ain't gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you didn't see through him? He's no more professor.
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine music director, and his
Now, wait a minute. Fine director. Have you heard one note of music from any band?
Oh, no, but I'm...
But nothing, girly girl. He ain't never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you just listen to me for a minute...
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that if I had the time. I sure got the inclination. But I gotta get back on that train, and I gotta leave this dynamite with somebody on the way to the depot. Bye-bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You'll never make the train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I gotta leave word, and I can see you wait the one to leave me.
Well, just a minute. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No, I meant I don't know you, and
I need more time anyway.
I mean as well as I'd like to.
No problem there, girly girl.
I never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
Takes quite a salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have a limited appeal, you know. Say, what am I doing? I'll miss that train. I'll lose my job. And I gotta leave word about that fella Hill. See you next time through, girly girl.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know you deliver those letters?
Try me. There's your train. Now run for it.
Why, you double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a girl in every away from every one of them. Not to mention all the pie-headed teachers like you he cozies up to just to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you's heard the last of me, girly girl.
I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong, here. At the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marianne. Light a rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh, won't you?
Marian, dear, who is you talking to just? Oh, nobody, just someone who, Marian? It was nobody, Mama, just some salesman, I guess. What's wrong, dear? Oh, nothing, what's on your mind? Well, this gentleman came in, and at first he was looking for Mayor Shin, and then he was trying to catch a train, and then You're awfully shaken up, my dear. Well, come have a... Why, Professor Hill.
Mrs. Pruitt, out the evening. Miss Marian.
You and Marian come up and said, I've got some jelly on the stove. There's no jelly on the stove, Mama. Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean anything.
Now, Miss Marian, I'm not suggesting that your invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment. The think system. I've been by to try to explain it to you a time or two. But there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
That's good. Wouldn't want anyone beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. Well, evidently it's not the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100... Well, what I'm trying to say is it true that you've developed a think system?
A what? Oh, a think system. Well, it's really very simple. It's as simple as whistling. No one ever had to teach you how to use your lips in whistling. You simply think the tune here, and it comes out clearly here. Now just try this yourself before you ask any questions.
Take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
I dare say you meet dozens, over 100. They all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
Some more and some less. One young lady had thought up the same system before I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than to discuss the think system with me.
Can't think of a one.
And I must be a very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors about traveling salesmen.
Surely, Miss Marian, you don't believe everything you hear. In fact, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me in a sure job so Mother and Winthrop and I could have some security. Surely you don't believe what people...
Of course not. That's exactly what I'm saying. But why do you suppose people start these rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally. Just generally.
What have you heard generally?
Well, just that... Oh, but of course it stands to reason that... Well, that disappointment and jealousy can lead to... Well, take you, for instance.
Your attentions to customers and, well, teachers might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, no, honestly, mightn't they? And as you say, if another salesman or somebody were jealous, I mean, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
The rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just goes to show you should never believe everything you hear. I mean, if you just discuss...
Miss Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you. But couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit, don't you? Your knees do bend and all?
We could sit on the porch steps.
We could also sit on a large hollow log over at the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. Never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I've got to get ready for the social.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't, please. Maybe some other time, maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
Oh, so would I.
The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! What, dear? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
But glory be in the saints be praised, it works.
What does?
I've been using the fix system on you from the parlor.
Hey, Craig! The uniforms have arrived. The kids are angry. Those people are gonna be screaming for music if those kids show up at the social.
Yeah?
Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's trying to keep me quiet at least, pretending to hold a practice over at the lumberyard.
All right, Mars, did you get the rate?
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Why, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to turtle wordle your way around here and get yourself caught in a bunny trap, you go right ahead, but I'm gonna
I'll get back to the hotel in plenty of time.
Why, Miss Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
I mean about 26 years late. Took you all that time to get to the footbridge with the fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Surely you don't think I've been selling you anything?
Oh no, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving.
Oh yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came and I'm glad. Oh please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. That's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you have left behind for me.
Mary and I...
There were bells ringing, but I never heard them ringing.
you don't know about me.
Hey, Greg.
Excuse me, I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it.
Now what? Who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
You nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. Besides, I had to keep her off balance, didn't I?
Well, she's so far off balance now you couldn't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown, I've come up through the ranks on this skirmish, and I'm not resigning without my commission.
But Greg, you can't get anywhere right out here on the footbridge.
Hey, there's a place over at Madison Picnic Park makes this place look like the old ladies' home.
Now beat it, get the rig.
Never a dull moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You're about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yes, well, we don't have to get into that just now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately. She did plenty when you first got here.
About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, Gold Medal Class of I-5, Harold. There wasn't any Gary Conservatory in I-5.
Why, there's certainly...
Because the town wasn't even built until I-6. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all the time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you. Now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew... Why, you little...
While 110 cornets played the air, then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I ooped on up and down the square.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love.
With 110 cornets right behind. There were horns of every shape and kind. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
While 110 cornets play the air,
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Oh, good night, my someone, good night.
Oh, say I'm crazy. Missed my train, probably lost my job, but I got you now, Hill, and you're gonna pay. You've been in the clinic a long time ago if it hadn't been for that pie teacher. What she do? She lilligads me around after I tell her all about you, so I can't get that skin dried up little man, hungry doxy. Right,
Get out of here or I'll kill you, you little...
You bully, you big bluff. I'm gonna stay in this town till you get yours up, down, through, and sideways. Why, you never even knew the territory.
Here's your stuff, Greg. The rig's in the alley. Come on, hurry up.
Stop! Listen to this man.
You gullible green grass goats. Can't you get it through your head that you're being swindled out of your eye teeth right now, this minute? There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill, road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
A pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your pocket, mister. And yours, little lady. And yours, madam. Ever since the first moment he came into this town. Why, there's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band. There never has been any band. And there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt Harold Hill down right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town. Now, will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back.
Money nothing. I want his hide.
After him. And when you find him, bring him back to the schoolhouse. After him. Try the low road. Look down by the creek. Try the mill. Back at Ribby.
See you, Marion.
It's all right, don't you know that? You don't owe me a word, not a word. Now please, hurry!
Well, he isn't anywhere around here. Let's try down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Hey, now wait a minute there, son.
I'm not your son, leave me go!
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen, you wouldn't tell the truth anyway.
I would too.
Would not.
Would Tot? Tell you anything you want to know.
Do you need a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you dirty rotten crook?
Yes.
Then let me go, you big liar!
Hey, you wanted the truth now, didn't you? You're gonna get it all because I'm bigger than you, so you might as well quit wiggling. There's a couple of things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you quit moping around and feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, actually, the other thing isn't any of your business now that I think of it.
I wish you never come to River City. No, you don't, Winthrop. Sister, do you believe him? I believe every word he said. But he promised us. I know what he promised us, and it all happened just like he said. Lights, colors, flags, and the symbols. Where was all that? In the way every kid in this town looked and acted all summer. Especially you. Does Mama wish she'd never come to River City? Well, you do, don't you? No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please. Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
For the first time, I feel like I got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all. So there was you.
Quick, they're here! Quick, Noah!
sure this snake in our bosom will have been misapprehended by this point. Yes. And always remember, fellow river citizens, I can only remind you that I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from, happening. 4
What are you doing about the money?
Professor collected nearly $300 for uniforms just tonight.
I haven't seen no uniform yet.
He's slippery, I told you.
I haven't seen a uniform or my son's just after supper.
He's a kidnapper.
Fine situation here.
4 score. Just a minute. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say that nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who can forget our everlasting Iowa stubborn chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful for what he's brought to this city. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there's a person in this hall who doesn't think this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, let him stand up. You lady, sit down. And the rest of you standing there like a coyote at a shop friar sheep. Have you forgotten how you bought expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments? Have you forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your children will be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where is that band?
Thanks, man.